Salvation Army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And a message coming from my eyes says, leave it alone. Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch it coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do.
Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody doing? Happy Saturday. It's time to get into Severance. I was here for this episode, y'all. I was here. I'm always going to be here for an episode where some stuff is happening. Even if I don't understand what's going on, I'm just going to be here for it anyway. Make sure when you are getting in here, you are hitting that like button and also letting us know what you thought about the episode overall, because we would love to know. We are in this together. If we don't know what's going on, y'all don't know what's going on either. Bringing her out first because she has such a sweet perspective. Ashley, how are you doing? And were you here for this episode?
Girl, yes, I am amazing, and I'm in a good mood. Listen, I feel like this was the best episode of Severance I've seen, period. I'm just like, oh, okay, we are making things shake and bake. I feel like I have answers. We met the old black lady again, honey, and she's going to spill tea. I can feel it in my spirit. We saw Brian of Tarth there as the great goat herder, and I am absolutely here for that. That was a Game of Thrones reference. Darfelina reminded me in the dadgum Discord, and yeah, Jaime Lannister would be rolling over in his grave to see Brian subjected to managing the sheep, Tyra. But I was here for this. I'm excited to dive into it and see what you guys thought, because we have not had the opportunity to talk about this one yet.
Child, I'm gonna act like I know what all them references mean, because y'all know I ain't seen an episode of Game of Thrones. All the way in the back, the movie man is in the house. Please let us know what you thought about this episode. Were you here for it? Was it the best episode of Severance you've ever seen? Because that's what Ashley said.
Hey, you all. So happy to be here. Yes, this was a really solid episode. And I do think I called something about us seeing more of the severed floor, seeing what was down like some of those dark corridors. And I am happy to see that we got some of that. And we are just continuing to build the world of the Severance floor of Lumon and all of that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Y'all, I'm a DJ one day. I'm gonna DJ one day, Darfelina, and I'm gonna make sure I tell everybody where to be. I'm gonna make sure, especially if I ain't got no copyright issues, girl, I might mess something up. Let's go ahead and get into the situation.
I said she's channeling her inner milkshake. She was acting like she wanted to fist pump.
Not the inner milkshake. I love this milkshake. We was about to do one of these numbers down the line, but getting into the overall thoughts, like I really enjoyed this episode, especially in just position from where we left them last season. It just really feels like everybody here is on their own separate agenda. Where everybody at first was like, we all in this together. It was very High School Musical. It's very High School Musical, but you see everybody kind of breaking off and going into their own kind of separate doors. And I just feel like this leaves more opportunity for us to see even more of Lumon and really not get some answers, but get a little bit closer to them. What about you, Ashley? What were your overall thoughts?
Absolutely. Like I said, I really enjoyed the episode. I really like how this is episode 3, and I feel like they're moving this story along. I felt like in season 1, we waited so long to get here. Like I felt like we waited so long. They dragged me through the miry clay in season 1. So for this, I'm so excited that we're progressing with the storyline. I was absolutely here for seeing Reghabi. Listen, it's Black History Month. I'm here for her, and I need to know what she knows. Even though I think that rinky dinky lab in the basement was a little bit scary, I was here for Dylan and his wife and those interactions. I didn't know Dylan in real life was a loser. I didn't know his Outie was a bum. I like that we're digging deeper. I like Irving's kind of determination now. He's like, you know what, my Outie drew this. I'm trying to investigate. But we knew what Dylan was going to do. But I'm a little bit surprised at Helly going on this dummy mission with Mark to look for Gemma. So I'm excited. But overall, I really enjoyed the episodes. I think it was an in-depth episode. And then, of course, we got to deal with Harmony towards the end. Not still any more answers, but I feel like I have even more questions now. And I like that. The suspense was suspensing for me by the end of this episode.
D, what about you? Overall thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, really solid episode. I feel like, you know what? I would compare this to, for anyone who's seen this, but like there's Doom Part 1 and then Doom Part 2. And probably the opposite of Kill Bill Part 1, Volume 1, and then Kill Bill Volume 2, where in 1, you kind of get the slow story build up. We're kind of pacing things out. We're building the world. It's very like chill and just kind of have to sit and, kind of get into it all. Just wait for things to unfold. And then once we get into Part 2, or in the case of Kill Bill Volume 1, we get a lot more. We get the pace going. We still have the story, but we see more characters. We see more things kind of happening and moving along. Still building, still having the suspense and the mystery there, but still like, okay, we can kind of see the trajectory. We kind of can see, a little bit of the light at the end of the tunnel. Not really, but a little bit.
Just a little bit. All we need is a little bit. And I want to make sure before we keep going, can everybody hear D? Is D's mic low? Because y'all be playing in the comments about people's mics. I think Ashley's is like, yours is loud. I don't know. No, good loud, Ashley. Good loud.
Oh, girl. I was like, I just turned up.
But I went back to, I was going back through the comments and they were like, somebody's mic is low. But it does sound like it's some ocean in the background from somebody. I don't know who.
That's probably me, y'all. I'm sorry. That's the airplanes flying overhead. Lord.
What's happening? Oh, it's bombs over Baghdad. No. But I wanted to start off with Harmony, baby, because they was about to take her out. You can't tell me no different. They were about to take her out. Like, don't overestimate yourself. Like, I just feel like Harmony needs to go on and tell us what's what. Clearly, she acts like she has enough value to know maybe where bones and skeletons are buried. She feels and acts like they owe her something. They owe her loyalty, and it's also like, if you don't give it to me, I could possibly blow up your spot. Like, don't test me. I'm not one of them. But Helly gives off, you are one of them. You just don't know it. And if you keep trying me, we're going to take you out. We didn't have to do you a service of bringing you back. We don't need you. Like, it's just completely different. But baby, Harmony was like really, really brazen this episode. She got one more time to roll up on Helly with a stiff neck and make demands, because I just absolutely see that go left. But we see her at this crossroad in this episode, and she just can't leave. She can't leave. She just literally stops in the street. You see that she even wakes up there, which means she slept there. She will not leave this facility. But she always makes sure that she has this breathing apparatus, face mask situation with her. And zooming in on that bad boy, it says 1944. So I'm going to assume that this is Harmony's mother. It can't be, anybody else. So I'm like, is this the aspect? Is your mother's consciousness locked away at Kier or something? Let us know something. Why is this strong connection to not only not want to leave, but also be on the same floor? Not only do I want to be on the same floor, but Milkshake, he needs to go. He needs to go first. As soon as she said that, I knew Helly wasn't going for it, because she's clearly had some type of conversation with him, and they have their own little ideal or whatever playing into motion. I'm sure he knows that Helly is not actually Helly. Then she calls the board, y'all. Say, in all our days of watching this show, I don't care if it's Helly, them people ain't never picked up on the spot. they pick up, hang up, wake up, move on their own accord. And she's just like, yeah, I called them. They're there. Let's just go and have a conversation.
Come on.
At which we have the bodyguard get real buff, like, yeah, come on, we're gonna crack a couple of knuckles. And she's like, yeah, this isn't safe. I'm gonna go on my way. Ashley, what do you think about Harmony this episode? And what's her next move? What is the plan?
I don't know what this posturing that they're doing for Harmony is. Like, it's very odd to me because it's like giving an impotent supervillain, girl, because you don't have no power, sis. You don't have no power. They keep checking you. Helly said, who do you, hold on, what? Like, we need you, sis? Like, it's the other way around. Harmony is not what she's posturing herself to be, and I don't get it, but you need me. You need me here. You don't, and you're going to do it on my terms. No, sis, I'm not. I'm going to take you in here and you're probably going to end up in the basement with the rest of the people. I don't understand Harmony's angle. At the beginning, I went back and listened to the intro or watched the intro again. And I was like, okay, we have the shrine. We have the hospital bracelet. I was like, is she on the hospital? Did they save her life? Did they unalive somebody she wanted gone? I just want to know more of her backstory. I'm hoping in the next couple episodes, we get like a rundown of really who Mrs. Cobell is, because girl, I'm trying to figure out where you have all of this entitlement, girl. I'm trying to figure it out. And Helly checks her at every moment. And it's like you do have some kind of discernment because you knew not to go in that office with her. But girl, what is your real angle and why are you so worried about the project? What is it called? Cold something. She's worried about that.
Cold
She's like,
Harbor.
yeah, a Cold Harbor. Mark is ready. He's so close. I'm not gonna abandon it. Milchick doesn't have what it takes. I thought Milchick was your right hand man, Harmony. Like, what's so deep? Are they resurrecting people? I think they're putting consciousnesses in other bodies of these clones or something. I think she want her mama back. That must be it. Because what is your vested interest, Harmony? That's what I want to know. These are the questions that need answers.
That's what I think personally. I'm telling you, them baby goats, it's the consciousness is, oh, I don't care. They're over there. And the only reason she would be committed this hard and really trying to stay on that floor at all is so she can keep a close eye to this Cold Harbor project. She is trying to do something with his mother. Maybe it's there. Maybe they promised her something. I don't know. But that's the only thing it could be. Dee, how did you feel about this situation? And what did you think the reset was? Because when Hilly walked up, she was like, do you need a reset? We could reset you. What that mean?
Right. Well, as far as the scene, it's what Helly said, ego, hubris, like all of it. I was just kind of like, I don't know if Cobellwig has gotten so comfortable in her position and kind of thinking like, oh, like as was said, like I don't know, like obviously there must be some, as far as what she's done and her deeper connections, we've seen the shrine and all that kind of stuff, but there must be something running deeper to feel like she could pull those kind of moves, with Helly of all people. I also thought it was really interesting, and I hear this a lot, but she basically kind of called her a Nepo baby. Basically,
Yeah.
Look, I've had to do the work, I've had to put all this, do such and such and such, and I wasn't just born into it, which I thought was also interesting. But yeah, yeah, and I thought the same thing. As soon as that door opened, I'm like, I've seen too many films. I've seen too many stories like this. It's like, we're gonna go, for a little walk, a little trip to the boardwalk, so to speak. So I thought that whole, interaction was really interesting, and I think that I wonder if like it's a literal reset, because I know I feel like they've mentioned reset before, but I wondering if it's one of those things where we can literally like make some kind of adjustment as far as your mindset, emotions, whatever. I feel like they have something that they can do to fix her in some way, at least from their standpoint, their standpoint, so to speak.
Child, it was about to go down. I said, girl, you about to get Joe Pesci. Don't you get in that car. Don't you get in that car, Harmony. I can't wait to see where this goes, though, because she is avid about getting back on that floor. Maybe this right here, I had to keep running this back, because I was like, I know that this is not, because at first it really looked like Milchick. And I was like, is this Milchick kind of aged up? And then I saw the blue eyes. I was like, oh. I went back to some of them images that we saw last season. I said, this is just Kier reimagined as a black man. The audacity. The audacity. how many other ways can they tell you, Milchick, that you don't matter? You will never matter here to this establishment. They couldn't even do you the service of getting. It's like, no, we just gonna paint it black. Give a little afro and
Want it painted black.
we're gonna keep the blue eyes though. That's the statement. We need those. But we have these, and it's just like we want you to feel closer to Lumon and closer to Kier, and have you just full on committed to the establishment as if he wasn't already. But you have Natalie coming in there. We just recycled the same black image clearly. When I saw it, the things it did, like all that he has done for me, everything that these images did for me just lifted me up. Like, oh, I was a changed woman. Meanwhile, she looks constipated and hurt as hell in the face. Like, this was so offensive. And I want Milchick to wake up. I want him to wake up. It's one thing for him to be solely devoted, but the fact that we didn't have any other images of any other black anybody, to the point that we had to reimagine the Kier white man as a black man, blackface of it all. D, how did you feel about this?
Yes, it was giving faux diversity, faux inclusion, and like as soon as I saw that first image, I bust out laughing because I was like, "Oh, this is what we're doing. Interesting." And I believe it was one or both of you that were saying like what Milchick's, I guess, what the optics of Milchick's role was last season. So I thought this tied in kind of perfectly with that, even though he's in a higher position. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Let me also say that Natalie is low-key one of my favorite characters, and we've only seen but a little bit of her, but I find her so, and I also love the performance by the actress, of course, but it's just something so odd and off-putting and eerie, and it's something so disorienting when she's interacting, especially with the board and how we can't hear what they're saying, but she just kind of and then the way her smile kind of like forms and drops and forms, like the way she looked at Milchick at the end, I was just like, either she wants to communicate something to him and let him know something, because even when she said like, oh yes, the board wants me to let you know that I also, receive this honor. And I found it very like, you're not alone. I'm the other black here. I also, was very grateful for this honor. And there's clearly something underneath there that she can't say because, there are people watching and listening. But there's something that she knows that she wants to communicate to him. And I'm wondering like when that'll happen.
Absolutely, because it felt like, if you don't say you appreciate it, stuff about to go. They're gonna see you to that room. They're gonna send you to that room, and we don't like that room. Like, but this was just so hurtful. Something that how devoted he is. I know that this probably cut Milchick really, really deep because he really feels like he was an asset. When really, I don't know. I still feel like at some point they are gonna bring Miss Harmony back, and he gonna really see what's what, because they clearly this isn't a DEI hire situation. this isn't that situation. But the way that he tucked them away in the episode, like he was just so like saddened and ashamed. Like, I don't even want to see these. Like put them, just hide them. I'm gonna act like they didn't exist, but they did. And they do. But are you still gonna move in this space thinking that you can still be appreciated and excel and be more than just riding on your motorcycle? I don't know. I just don't know. And then I'm like, have we seen any other brothers?
Undercover brother.
We ain't seen no other brothers, have we? Did I miss a brother? Because we've only seen so many people. There's not a whole lot of blacks here, period, and I definitely haven't seen another brother. Ashley?
Yeah, Natalie definitely gives me AI, y'all. I think they reprogram her at night and she goes out and goes on the tasks for the day. She's definitely a palatable, light-skinned woman that probably does the trick in all of their spaces. And she's a pawn and a tool, absolutely. But here's the thing about Milchick, and I'm really curious because while we've seen that he's a true believer, he's willing to do everything for Lumon, we also grapple that there may be this idea or this piece of Milchick that really has a heart and has compassion, right? And so I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with his character and which one is going to weigh out, especially after this treatment bed, because did they even change the name on the computer screen for you? And then you bring us in here, and I don't want to call no religions out by name. However, there is a faith that just accepted black people in the 80s, right? It definitely gave that for me. It definitely gave their forefathers, and you put blackface on one of them. You ain't brightened up the place, you whitened up the place. Like, this is what that gave for me. And the way Milchek is just receiving, and I'm thinking to myself, baby, will the revolution be televised? That's what I want to know. I want to see it go up in one of them waffle parties. I want to see Milchek blow a gasket. I want to see him rage against the damn machine. I think he would be the perfect ally for Mark. So I'm hoping that all of this really builds up some animus and gives him motivation to strike back, because he knows more than he lets on. He's covering for a lot of things. And I think maybe now, knowing that he's not who he thought he was in these people's eyes, I mean, he might come along with the plan. He might get down with the get down, because we know the team is crumbling. The team is raggedy. The team is wobbly. So I hope that they're going to use Seth. I see it for him. I see something here. I see a spark, a flare. He got a flare.
He got a flare. Mm-hmm. He did. He reminds me a whole lot of Billings in Silo. And it's going to be like, I played along. I played my part. I did everything y'all told me to do, and this is how you treat me. I don't think he's going to play along for too much longer. I'm telling you, it's going to take them bringing Harmony back and dismissing him from that position. It's going to be something. I think that's what it's going to take, because, he just, can y'all get her name off of my computer screen, please? She's no longer here. But yeah, this was comedy. I was like, wow. And then y'all showed it to Natalie. Natalie could have saw the regular key. Why we trying? Natalie, she's very, very ambiguous biracial woman. I saw the same images, and did it though? Really? You didn't see the old school Kier? All right. Felicia, Burt, and exports. First of all, I just want to say Burt was not all that, okay? Burt was not all that. They really pushing it with me and them in that Garden of Eden at one time and touching pinkies. I was like, I really needed, not to say I wanted to see them have no sexual healing or nothing like that, because Lord, no Christopher Walken. But just for what Burt is supposed to mean to Irving and him just holding on, baby, he is in limbo. He is absolutely lost without Burt. When he pulled out the flip book, I said, oh, the dedication. Burt is on your mind that heavy. I just needed them to have a little bit more intimacy, because I was like, really, Irving, you just lost. You Robin Thicke out here. But after he realizes that he's on his own in this journey, we go visit Felicia. Felicia reminiscing, and they kicking, and oh, he was just such a great guy, this, that, and the third, until we flip to the back and we see this image and say, oh, that's the experts hallway. They used to, send somebody to go down there from the department, but now they just send somebody up here to retrieve, and we don't see it. D, do you feel like Felicia is going to lead Irving down to this elevator? It looks like an elevator to me in that that little path. It could just be a door. Or is he still going to be on his own here? Are they going to team up?
I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, there's enough camaraderie there. Now, I would say the only issue is, like, I remember seeing, we saw like the additional members or staff members as a part of this department, but I wasn't sure. It just seemed like she was the only one there at that point. So I'm saying, like, if she's in a position to get away, then yes, because it seems like there's enough, like, kind of established camaraderie that she might be, she might be down. And the fact that she volunteered that information, because she really technically didn't have to say anything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think when it comes down, and I definitely thought it was an elevator. And I also know, I mean, I already know it's going to play some part of this season, but I thought it's interesting that even in the intro, they show that the hallway, and they show what looks to be the elevator, and then you see Helly at the end before it goes to the whole Severance screen. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to, if not her directly, like, he's going to find a way there, but I don't know if he or anyone else is going to like what they find down there.
Ashley, what about you? Because I don't trust Felicia. First of all, I don't trust nobody here, okay? I don't trust Felicia completely, because she wasn't this one. When she brought it, like, bring it in. Yeah, we're going to sit here and reminisce on Burke and, rub his back. And, like, I remember that time he just was so nervous, funneling, flipping with his hair. Just at the aspect of seeing you. I was like, Felicia landed on real thick, ain't she? I was like, I don't know. I don't know, because Felicia wasn't this receptive at first, but maybe I missed something as far as her growth. Ashley, do you trust this situation? Are we getting to the exports?
Not through Auntie Felicia, not through Granny Felicia. No, sit her over there. And I know what y'all say. Don't come for the old people. Old people are not bad in every single show. But there is something sinister and suspect about Granny Felicia. I feel like she's just too accommodating. She's too mouthy. Any other department you go to, they ready to pull the blicky on you. Like they're not doing all this. And she, oh, yeah, Burt. I know Irving. Oh, I know. You know, I worked with Burt for I worked with Burt for 6 years, and I just Auntie Felicia, go somewhere. Go somewhere and bye Felicia. No, I don't trust her at all. And he's giving too much tea. He's giving too much information. He feels so extremely comfortable at this point. I saw somebody in the comments talking about how they think that I think it was Christine that he's getting intel. I think she's getting the tea. I think she's getting the tea. I think now that Lumon is giving them their hall passes and they are able to roam about freely, these other departments have probably been given instructions. If any of these people approach you, this is how we're playing it. Lumon has always been a couple steps ahead, except for that last time. So I'm thinking they're on high alert, and I think she's an op for sure. And Irving, stop running your mouth so damn much. Irving, focus on yourself. Focus on your outie and on your innie. And find some business, sir. Find some business. Draw a map. You're gonna have to find exports by yourself because she's gonna lead you to that basement. Yeah.
Oh, he's lonely. But I mean, like, it's clear that Irving on the outside was digging into Lumon and he's against the establishment. So maybe that's bleeding over into here, but I am definitely not trusting Felicia as far as I can throw her. I was like, she wasn't really this warm last season from what I saw, but maybe they're just bonding over Burt. I was like, Burt wasn't even all that. He wasn't. He wasn't tea, but okay, if you say so. Oh, so my Outie is a loser? He's stupid. He dumb. Loser. Let us straight. Oh, has been. It was giving why the fools fall in love. You were has been. You're washed up. You thought I was like, oh my god, why y'all just rubbing it in on Outie Dylan like this? But if we can even trust this at all, first we have Sis Han roll up. People are still questioning. I want to know what she's doing on all this off time because we haven't seen her in a little while. Like, baby, what are you doing? Are you just sitting there, twiddling your thumbs and playing that little game? Like, what are you doing? But she leaves him here and he's rewarded for this good behavior. Of course, we start off this episode. Everybody's supposed to be on this same agenda of getting to Gemma. And it's just like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. Milkshake said I had maybe a chance of seeing my family, getting to see my wife. I don't want nothing to do with that. I was like, oh, you gonna turn on Irving so quickly? You told him to go by himself? Oh, Dylan, say it ain't so. Not when you was holding it down last season. Oh, that cut me deep. I was like, forget all the other people. You and Irving supposed to be here, but this really shows where his loyalty lies. Now we get this wife in here. Can we trust that this is the actual wife? Is this actually her? Or is this any her? Like, do we don't know because we get that the lady we met in the house. I didn't feel like this was her. And if it is, she was definitely playing off the energy that she had for any Dylan because it was like, you know what? My man ain't never, girl, he on the couch. He ain't never rolled up with all this compassion. And he always have a hard time finding a job. I'm working day and night. He just dead home, collecting whatever, watching them kids. He's an absolute loser. But you seem like you got a little fire about you. You know what? Matter of fact, I love you. It's like, and then when she gets back to the house, it's like, how did it go? It's like, oh, it was all right. It was a little yang around the house. It wasn't nothing impressive, But that's not the energy that she was giving in this situation. I did want her to keep talking because when she got to talking about Milkshake and, he said it would be such and such, we cut that conversation real short. We are not allowed to share any of that. I was like, something is going on. And then Milkshake's involved, as he would be, but can we absolutely trust that this is Dylan's actual wife, or is this a Severance situation again? D?
So I kind of feel one of two ways. I kind of think that it is possible that, kind of like going off of her energy when we see her back in, I guess, real life, the unsevered life, it did kind of seem like her energy was different. Mm-hmm. Part of me feels like that could, and this might be a reach for now, but it would be interesting. Let's just say, like, hypothetically, Dylan is a loser and all those things were true. It would be interesting if in meeting any Dylan.
Mhm.
She has a different perspective of him compared to Outie Dylan, and that may be why when he asked like how did it go, it was just like, oh no, it wasn't nothing big. And or even just the idea of meeting somebody over, the person you love over again, but with a completely different mindset and perspective. And we don't completely get all of what Dylan is. I mean, we know the whole job, we understand like he's hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, but we don't know like how he is as a husband and all that. So their dynamic could not, it's possible it's not as, sunshine and rainbows as it may seem. And her idea of this other Dylan may be more intriguing. That's kind of my possible theory.
Oh, most definitely. Because when she leaned into Outie Dylan and was like, just, it's dough. Put it on the plate, cut it up, and just bake the damn cookies. Can you at least do that while I'm out at work? Ashley?
I'm in that same mind frame as D, because what I'm thinking of, I'm like, because even with Mark, right, when we compare his any Mark to Outie Mark, two different people. Dylan, it seems to be the exact same way, and so I'm wondering if any Dylan is the Dylan that she first met, like with all the promise, with all the potential, and so it brings her into this different space. When she get home and see that dirty house with all them kids laying all around, and she got to go to her second shift job. And he's on the couch, she's pissed off immediately. I'd be pissed off looking at big old Dylan over there too, being a bum and shiftless. Because you just got fired from this job, just got this job back. So yeah, I'm going to go and visit your any to make sure you keep it. Because this Outie out here, I can't do it. So yeah, I think she's gonna put on her good hair. She's gonna put on her cute dress. She's gonna take off her TSA outfit and her second shift job outfit. She's gonna leave that at home. Okay, she's gonna comb her hair and she's gonna go and she's gonna smile in any Dylan's face to make sure he keep this good job. Because I can't do it by myself no more. I'm tired. She's a single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and it never stops. You know what I mean? She's over it at this point, and I'm not mad.
Reba.
I'm a survivor. That's what it gives. I can't do this on my own.
But it did look like she had a little, like, whatever it was, regardless of it. This is all Dylan ever needed to. He ain't gonna want to be a part of nobody's plans. I got to see my wife and my kids, and I have aspects of seeing them again. I don't know, in the chat said, do they do conjugal visits? If they do, you can kiss Dylan goodbye. You can kiss any Dylan goodbye. Oh my goodness. So he's had a tough time keeping jobs. He's a loser? He's a nothing? Like me? Such the opposite, because we know Dylan in here, he's so passionate. Helly is a weirdo. When we gonna get the other Helly? Helly is so weird. She is so weird. When we have her being fake chummy towards Irving. Oh, this is your first time going back to O&D. You know what? We're here for you. I was like, this is not OG Helly. It's not. And then we keep having these awkward situations where he's like, I don't want this to be weird for you, girl. We shared a kiss, but I'm gonna look for Gemma. I'm gonna look for my wife. Are you okay? And we have this dramatic pause. And she's just waiting, like, I want you to, like, can you kiss me, kid? Can you kiss me just like you did that little light-skinned girl in a house party? She's like, can you just kiss me again? Remember that tape, that video I was running back on a loop? Can we do that again? Like, are you that starved and deprived for affection that you're in here with Mark of all people for any type of validation? It's so odd, even getting to the point of this really being you. If something happens to you in here, girl, you gone. You're gone. So when we have her later go on this adventure with him, I was like, are you thinking about yourself? Like, what is the whole plan? This just seems like a really big masquerade just to infiltrate this space and prove a point. Or is this all for you waiting around for Mark to hit you up? Ashley?
Yeah, with her lip quivering. Girl, it's because she watched them tape 18 times, but that is definitely Helena. This is no longer Helly. Helly has left the building. Baby, the night of their great escape, Helly has left the building and has yet to return, which is why I'm really confused about, like I said, this dummy mission that she's taking with him. Is it all in an effort to get this kiss? Is it all in an effort to inspire him and be his motivation? Baby, let me be your motivation to get this project done so we can accomplish whatever our world domination mission is. I'm so over looking at this lady in this weird red wig. I hate it. I hate the bangs. I hate the flip up. I hate everything about this hair. I don't know. It bothers me every time I see her because it makes me think she's on that. Never mind. I'm a come back. Ashley.
On what?
On that little bus. On that little bus. She's driving it. She's driving that little bus. But no, I don't know what this unrequited thing is. And then Mark looks like he wants to lean in, but the whole time we're going on a mission to find my wife. So, I mean, Helly, make it make sense. I really do think she's just trying to be that motivation because Dylan is blowing his top. He's blowing the cover. They're going to know next week that he's got an ulterior motive. She's going to try to play it really close to the chest to stay in Mark's good graces. But to what end, Helly? Like, what is it? What are you going to do to this man? Is she going to take it? I'm scared for Mark at this point. I'm scared for any Mark. Because what are you going to do?
I want to know what the grander scheme is because I know that this can't be it, especially with this being such an unsafe situation. And I need you to go look up actually why they chose this. I think the director and the writer, they sat down and went through many wigs and they chose this one for one particular reason.
To piss people off.
D, how are you feeling about Helly? What's the plan?
So it was very clear to me, and I understand this has already been a theory from the beginning, but yeah, like the interaction with Irving, not to say that OG Helly is like mean or anything like that, but she's not like this, like, oh yeah, and and like it's that's just not quite her. If anything, if she would be encouraging, it would be just kind of like awkward and, well, yeah, like maybe, like it wouldn't just, what I got from the interaction with Irving, I was just like, this is oddly warm. And I do understand they built a rapport since all the events of last season, but still, it just felt like this feels off. And then once we got to that whole extremely awkward, longing moment between her and Mark, yeah, I was just like, because here's the thing. And again, context included, I understand that Helly was the one to initiate the kiss. She was like, just in case this don't work out, boom, there's that. I just don't feel like after doing something like that and her being, knowing what her actual personality is, or OG Helly's personality, I don't see her just standing there like I just like, no, it's no. If I wasn't sure before, that kind of gave it away for me. As far as like where, like what Helena or what Helly this is, because it's very obvious to me.
Do you guys think that Mark is going to figure it out anytime soon? Because this episode, it's like, are you sure? Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? Is he going to figure it out, or are we going to go through this whole entire season with him thinking that this is Helly?
Girl, you saw what happened at the end. He gonna know. Mark is gonna be in touch with his awareness, with his collective consciousness, as they want to call it. Oh yeah, he gonna suss her out. Next episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the reintegration, definitely. Were it not for that, I have a feeling, this is a hypothetical, but I could see Helena possibly pulling a Mark like he did in the last season finale, where he said, "Oh, okay, thanks, Miss Cobell." I could see her doing something like that. But the reintegration, that's going to add a whole nother level of complication in his awareness of that.
All right, y'all, we're going to take a little pause for the calls. Do know that it is Saturday, and not only do we talk Severance, but we have Saturday night watch-alongs for our members. This week was my week, and this is what we're watching. If you don't like it, you better lie in the chat behind paywall.
Where is it? Oh, God! Hair go and my waist on, and I sweat too much on the regular. We gon' let them hits fly, we gon' let it go. If it ain't next door, then it gotta go.
Mrs. Rhodes dead, murdered right next door.
Talking about a face coming off a bag of blow. I'm like, God bitch, I am not a beach boy. Whip game, make a understand though. Got that Hannibal, silence of the Lambo. Hit the gas so hard, make it rotate. All my niggas blue.
All right, there you folks have it. We are watching Wait Until Dark. If you haven't seen it, you know what? Watch classics every now and again. I really think it's worth knowing about and looking at. I'm just really here for Dylan because I really think he's gonna be laying it low and spraying it wide. I think she's gonna be coming in there to see that man. I really do. Because she had a really good time, and I think what did she say? Like, y'all have 18, which is all like y'all have 18 minutes. Why 18 minutes of all things? But I feel like Dylan is finna can any Dylan like impregnate an Outie? It's so many different levels.
Ooh.
Because where are we gonna go with this? Because she was really feeling this man. But now it's time to get into Mark, child. I saved Mark and them for last. Because what is going on back here in this department? What's wellness? What's the wellness department, and who's Miss Casey? At least we tried for the betterment of the episode. They look spooky. That's the only word I got. They rose up like this was a George Romero situation. They look like zombies. Before we even get to that, of course we have Mark. I was like, Mark, how are we going to be talking about moving in silence and you got full-blown missing posters? Have you seen this woman? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Just be discreet. Don't, be discreet about it. It's nothing to be discreet. You think they told you guys that y'all can have free range and travel around here for nothing and they're not watching you? Are you serious? Even in the moments where you thought there was no overhead, no cameras, and they weren't watching you, they were. They see everything. So what is the real plan here? But these people were so frightened and so defensive. It's to be expected because, once again, we are rolling over into new departments. Every single department has another rumor or some type of estimation of what the other department is like. Hence, oh, look, let me see your belly button. Do you have any pouches? No, oh, no, this is just normal. See, it doesn't prove anything. But just the look of them. These people looked unkept and unwell. Ashley, I'm gonna come to you first. What did you think about when we got to these fields and the goats in this department in this frightened individual?
I mean, I was kind of here for it. I can't lie. Put your belly buttons on live and I give you $1,000. I was here for it. Let me see the belly buttons. No, I loved seeing Brian here. I thought she looked amazing. Brian of Tarth was serving face and looks. This is our main sheep herder, the woman who was running stuff. That's from Game of Thrones. Okay, Tyra, I know you don't be over there in the Game of Thrones streets, but no, I mean, I was here for that. I'm here for an odd, quirky people in the department. I want to know what they know, and I think when, of course, Mark pops out the picture and the man goes back to, oh, she told me my Outie was amazing at gazing at the stars, an amazing stargazer. I was like, oh, see, they're endeared to Gemma. We're going to go somewhere. I think we're cooking here with these people, but there's so much lore to them. I want to know what it is. I want to know what it's truly about because honestly, I think they're the most primitive looking people, but I think they are guarding the most like top secret of all of the things in Lumon. So I'm really, really curious about what that is. As far as the Baphomet symbolism, I don't know nothing about that. I know people go off in there. I'm not fooling with the devil in his workings over there. So I don't know, unless it's about power, control, things like that, subtleties of the mind and that. Okay, that's one thing. I don't know nothing else about that. I want to know what these people think about the other innies though in Lumon on the Severance floor. Like I want to know what they think because what kind of pouch was they gonna have? Like a kangaroo? Or what are y'all's belly buttons look like? I'm like, everybody lift it up. Like Girls Gone Wild. Everybody lift it up so we can all see what everybody's working with because I'm confused. Like, did something genetically happen? Were they modified?
That's what Burt said. Burt, I think it's just rumor. I think for so long they've built up different lore to keep separation between these departments. As far as that Baphomet, I just put it here because I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take that as if we didn't already know with that Illuminati Waka party that they gave Dylan last season with the girl, all the goings on at the Kier house, that there are some underhanded occult commitment type of things happening here that maybe we'll get more into. But I'm like, you're not going to put that in my
Lumon
face.
is a cult, so I mean, there's that.
But there's a cult, and then there's Baphomets. Like, what? Why? Like, don't put all this disturbing imagery here. I just took it as like the rabbit hole goes even deeper than you guys know. D, how did you feel about this? Are you gonna show them folks your belly button And if they didn't show it, like, what was going to happen? I think, like you said, the word has been spread around. If they roll up on you with a certain type of energy, be on guard. But the minute that they mentioned Gemma, which once again, I was like, cold ass, distant Gemma was giving y'all hope. And those same, I really thought when he said, like, she said, stargaze, I thought one of them was going to chime in and say, she said the same thing to me. I swear everything sounded the same that she was telling everybody in these little affirmation wellness meetings, but okay. But yeah, what did you think about this, D?
Because this is Thriller. Thriller night. Look, these folks look like they have been ridden really hard and put away wet and mildew. Okay? It was not a good look. I'm just like, what's really going down? I mean, I understand we got the ghosts, but do baby ghosts have you looking like that? Like, what's really going down? And I do think it's part of that whoever, and I don't know who specifically, I know it's a Lumon thing, but I don't know who specifically created these, I guess, myths or urban legends about each department. We even saw that one image where it was like the uprising where they had people like devouring each other, ripping out, eviscerating them and all. They were like, and they were iffy about going because of that. So yeah, this was quite disorienting to experience, but I do think someone actually said, and I had forgotten about this. I can't remember which episode either, but someone had said, somebody said that someone had spread a rumor about MDR having pouches with man-eating larvae inside them. So I guess that was part of it. So I knew it was something rumor related, but I didn't realize it was as specific as that. So yeah, and someone else had asked that why did it look like Helly didn't have a belly button? It looked like her skirt was just really high. I hope that's what it is. I hope that's not a Helena thing. I'm going to assume that's just, you couldn't see the whole thing. But yeah.
I just want to get there. But yeah, y'all go down them peaks and valleys. I know it's some channels out here playing with that Baphomet thing in the back. Like, oh, so now this means they're going to hit that music on the end. Like, I'm not going there with this show.
Was this a different room than the goat room from last season? This looks huge. Was the other room this big?
No.
Where they were feeding the goats or whatever?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. Okay. But I mean, do they have multiple rooms where? And I don't think they really looked into the room. They just saw the man in there and they just stopped. So maybe it's the same room, but then they didn't notice. Like, what is this little hurting, little shuttle looking open Coraline door? Let's go down here and see what's going on. I just want to know what these people doing. It ain't no way in hell. This is just goats. Like, these people,
they keep state secrets.
Like, they are overworked. They looked frightened. It looked like they are because I wasn't even sure where she was coming from when she said, "Are you here to kill us?" Was that just a part of the rumor situation, or are you really frightened? Like, is somebody after you? Like, I want to know what they're doing because these people look zombified. Like, they're not sleeping and they're being overworked. I'm curious. I want to stay here a little bit longer, but you know how they be working. They ain't gonna let us see nobody. We ain't gonna see this lady until the last episode. I want to see. Oh, Ricken. I mean, we always kind of thought Ricken was weird and he might be down with Lumon just on GP anyway. So why not just put him on over there? So easily swayed and influenced. Well, yeah, they want to take my book that means nothing out here because everybody thinks it's pretty idiotic. Like, who wrote this? But it's everything on the inside because they don't have any other text to go by. But we want to take the same text. They always are looking for windows to gain back full control. Anybody who was awakened by this book, we need to take that back. So we need you to tweak it. So what you think about that, Devin? Devin don't want no parts. She said, "Oh, he was a good little egg. Good to know, girl. I don't care. I need you to go. Where is that baby? Hide your kids. Hide your wife when Lumon is in the building. I don't give a damn if it's just Natalie. I'm here for Devin not getting the wool pulled over her eyes ever again. But Ricken, this is dangerous, and I want to know why they keep, because you could do this yourself. Lumon don't know nothing about nothing. They wouldn't know. You can print this, put it down there, and say, "Oh, this is the second book published by Ricken, whomever." Why go directly to him? Why are we still trying to keep heavy tabs on this family? D.
I do remember, obviously, Ricken's book was a significant plot point last season, and I think they're trying to find a way in. Mark is a significant part, and I don't know how this all is going to tie together for Lumon and then Mrs. Cobell, but I do know that because we still have Cold Harbor and Mark is linked to Ricken, and that book has taken on a much bigger significance. I think they are trying to find a way to one, if they really do, it could be possible they really do feel like this might bolster, and they might be trying to test to see like if this will bolster productivity or if they can test this out some type of way. But I also think this is going to obviously link back to Mark some type of way. And yeah, I think there's a bigger plan they have with it. I think Ricken is obviously not very self-aware, so it doesn't surprise me. Like, as all you had to do was kind of feed him a little, oh great, awesome, yes, it's changing lives, and he's falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. But I'm glad Devin is still paying attention. But I really need to know, maybe not on the show, but I'm curious to know Devin and Ricken's backstory, because the way he is and the way she is very much opposites.
I just want to see it, because I don't want this to get, just hide that baby. I feel like this is some ammo to go do the Cold Harbor. We got your sister's baby. Like, hide that freaking baby. Ashley, what about you? How did you feel about Ricken automatically taking the bait, and the fact that Devin said, I said hell no?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. Natalie over there, apparently looking like a snack to Ricken. Ricken is enamored. Ricken was acting like that was his woman until his wife walked in, and then still was like, well, no, we're not there. We're working on something. Now, we know that Lumon does have their own scriptures or whatever, and I'm really, really curious about how they're going to adapt this book to make it palatable and acceptable for Lumon. But Ricken is going where the money reside, where the ego strokes reside. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's going every single time. And I think Natalie's just that one to appeal to that. I don't necessarily think this was just about Ricken, though. I think she wanted to get them people house. I think this is about Mark. I think this is about Devin. I think it's about all of that. And I'm really, really curious. Devin has been the standout for me this episode. I want to see more from her. She's got more up here than 90% of these characters. So I'm really hoping that she's going to help walk Mark through this. Not this terrible plan where he wants to burn things into his retinas or whatever, but just in general, walking him through this process of getting free, honey, from these demons. Like, that's what I want. But yeah, Ricken is for sale. Hear me. Ricken is for sale. He might go into an Outie convention, honey, and give a little TED talk. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it by the end of the season, baby. Ricken is for sale to the highest bidder.
Child, Ricken said, I feel like a Spanish in this. Ricken. I feel like a Spanish in this hair. Yeah, this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. Hey, then we get here. I wanted to point this out, because baby, why it take us so long to get from A to B? He had that watch, and we were getting from the car all the way to check-in, going down a set of steps, then another set of steps until we go through that additional security check-in and hit the elevator. Nothing in that building should be taking almost an hour. Like, because it said like 11:40, and he's steady counting, up until the moment that he's trying to get here. And I was like, Mark, don't piss me off. Mark steady acting like he needs so much more convincing. Who's alive? I need to get you. If you're going through this plan already, you must have some inkling that this might be true. So let's not burn out your damn retinas, please. Can we not do that? But actually, why was it taking so long to get from one door to the next? And how did you feel about this dumb plan between him and Devin?
Just slow. When Reghabi says, oh, baby, so you just went on the internet and they said this was a good idea and you decided you was going to go with it. Fool, how are you going to see? How is your any going to see once you get in there? Like, I need you to use your common sense, sir. And sometimes it just takes that. He's just so motivated. At least finally Outie Mark is motivated to do something. But yeah, Mark is different. Mark's Outie's different because we had to
Oh,
get him on board first. And then we kind of have to persuade him, prod him. And then once he gets the idea, he's going to go all into it. I'm hoping at some point, like I said, well, we know what's going to happen in the next scene or whatever. But yeah, Tyra, he's slow in general.
yes,
Outie
yes.
Mark has been slow the entire series so far. He's just, oh no, that's fine. I quit. No, I don't quit. I'm going back. He doesn't know his own mind. For whatever reason, this grief, this love he had was so deep, which we're still not really privy to. We don't know what happened in this relationship or marriage. I would love if we would ever get that, to know why this love was so deep and encapsulating that it's kept him down for 8+ years. But yeah, he's been moving slow this whole time, Tyra. So it doesn't surprise me. But I am excited, like I said, that my girl stepped in. I want to know what's going to happen next.
We gonna get to her because I don't know yet. Dee, what about you? Why does it take so long to get from point A to point B? And were you here for him trying to burn out his eye sockets at this point?
Uh, I mean, I think there's obviously, I don't know if it's something we're not seeing, or I don't know if there's something involved in the process that would speak to that. It's something that obviously we don't know yet, but yeah, like, because I don't know, like because when I think about it, like, do we actually know, even when it comes to the process of entering the elevator and all that, do we actually know like the specific timeline of all this? Or even if the timeline, like what they say it is what it actually is. So I think there's a whole time, a little time disconnect that's going on here. But of course, like the specifics of it, we haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, for a check-in to take that long, there's something.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black.
My bad, y'all. We black.
And I'm black.
I hit the wrong button. It's Black History Month, y'all, and we black. D, I'm sorry.
No, you could. But yes, there's that piece, and then I honestly, it took me a minute to realize that's what he was doing. I'm like, that can't be it. And it wasn't until it was actually said by our girl that I was just like, oh no, that's really what he was trying to do. Like, I was actually kind of shocked. I mean, we see the disparity between the marks, so I shouldn't be surprised. But I still was like, oh, like when she actually said it, I was like, oh, that's really what you were trying to do? Yeah. The elevator ain't going all the way to the top on this one, I see.
I just feel like Devin was brighter than this, and she wouldn't let him go through with this dumbass plan. I was like, why? What? I was like, why would we do this? Why would we do this? But I'm like, if you have enough gusto to do this process, you must have some faith that your wife is in there. Can we just not and go with the plan to kind of get closer to this any Outie situation? But I didn't know that he would be convinced so easily. It literally took Reghabi to roll up on you and say, yeah, last time I checked, Gemma was still there. Miss Casey, she was still alive. I don't trust her. I do not trust her. Not in the sense that she's still working for Lumon, but she was so anxious. Like, first of all, sis, where you came from? She just came out of nowhere. Open the door, Mark. I said, ma'am. No, I don't want to. But it's like, oh, you're doing this. Fine. If we're going to do this, you might as well let me go through this same process. This same process that he keeps foreshadowing, like when old Petey did it. He was not okay. Old Petey back there, he's like, okay, well, he just didn't do it the right way. This was too quickly. I feel like she was too anxious to get him there. And if you had that little excuse of, well, last time we met up, we got interrupted. So I didn't have any space of a moment in time to say, hey, your wife is still down there. She's still alive. Like, I don't trust this. I feel like she has such an urgency because she's trying to right some wrongs, and whatever she did implanting these chips in these people, and it's just like, hey, the quicker I go through experimentation and due process to get these mixtures and measurements right so we don't have any more Pete type situations, the better. Who better than Mark? But I'm like, I don't feel like he's going to be just automatically okay. I feel like she moved too quickly, and it was so fast. It was so fast, and he was just changed like that. But it's like, why are you bringing up Gemma now, and why are we so hasty to get through the progress? Ashley?
I like Reghabi. I like her. I trust her. I think that she is like the quintessential whistleblower for Lumen, and I want this to be good. Now, if she betrays my trust and turns out to be a villain, so be it. But
Where
at
she come
least it'll
from,
be an
Ashley?
interesting ride.
Ashley, where she come from? Why
Baby,
she
she
be
probably got a
asking?
tracker on them. She probably had a tracker on all the Lumen employees. She still got the technology. Lumen knows where all the people are at any place in the world. And wasn't Reghabi like one of the top whatever scientist people down there? I think she still got the tech. I think she still knows where the bodies are buried and where the people are. I'm here for the reintegration process. I wasn't here for her raggedy basement with the machines that she had to get to working. That made me nervous. But I mean, this is his closest and best option. She was right. What you gonna do? You're gonna burn your retinas out? Like, you sound crazy as hell, Mark. Like, come on, Mark. Let me help you, Mark. And I think at this point, Mark is just so desperate for answers. He's willing to do anything. And the idea that Gemma could still be alive is fueling him. Again, I'm here for a black woman with some knowledge. Girl, it's Black History Month. I'm on your side until you prove me wrong with Gabi. Don't prove me wrong. But no, I'm here for it. And I don't think PD followed all the instructions. And like she said, I know better now. There's some things that I've tweaked about the process. Okay, let's try it. How will we know unless we try?
I think Mark is a guinea pig. I think he's a guinea pig. I don't like disregard her intentions of trying to do the right thing. I don't think that's the issue. I feel like this hastiness is because she feels guilty about whatever that process was and the state of the severed or whatever. So the quicker I figure out the formula to really get the reintegration progress and the unsevered of whatever, the better. I don't think she's perfected it though. Did you see her slap the machine? D.
So here's the thing, like, I like to consider myself fairly cool, calm, and collected, but like, I already know like how my body reacts, how my general senses react if I were to look up and all of a sudden someone is just in the front of my car. Like, it's either fight or flight. And I just can't say then after seeing that and you're like, let me in, let me in, let me in. Like, my response is not gonna be like, okay, sure. Like that, there something's wrong here. And it's how I just feel like if it's not some kind of spy or tracker device situation, how did you find me otherwise? Like, I just think that's really bizarre. And there was no explanation for it. It was just like, okay, I'm here. So why are you doing that? So what's going on? Oh, and then just kind of dropping the thing about Gemma just like that. I'm like, you didn't say any of this before. Like, why is this so pertinent now? And I believe it was Mark's, only because I remember how it looked, but I think that was Mark's basement. I guess she just had that stuff with her and she assembled it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like look. I remember and I felt real bad about it, and it was a significant part of the first season. But we saw what went down with PD Pablo, so I just feel like for this to for him to just kind of willingly embrace that when he's seen what happens, and I understand like his love for Gemma, as far as we know, is driving him to do this, but the consequences for me, or at least even let's just say if it doesn't happen the same way it does for PD, it's just the fact that he's going to have to deal with all these side effects and this general disorientation. It's not, I don't think that's going to go well. And then we haven't also seen like how the integration works. Like, what are they seeing? How do they communicate? Like, how do you bring those two things together? So I'm a little worried.
I'm definitely worried. Like, I'm telling her slapping on the hood of that car. Open the door. Let me in here. And it's just like, this is definitely a guinea pig situation. How many severed people is she finding who want to be unsevered and are willing to go through this process? And he wouldn't have wanted to go through it either unless she mentioned Gemma, which is self-serving. Like, I don't trust this woman. What kind of name is Reghabi?
Reghabi. A
It
super
sounds,
spy name.
I would say it sounds like a diabolical super spy. I don't know.
I
The
like
intention is there, but it's like if I gotta, sacrifice Mark for due progress, the next time, on the fourth time, I'm gonna really know what I'm doing then. No, you're not testing this on me, ma'am. You just not. I would have said, okay, you find one more person, and then we're gonna see how that turns out because maybe Pete Pablo fell out in front of the gas station. Absolutely not. But it was too easy. I was like, it's with the process of getting severed. You mean to tell me it's a couple of little clicks and you just directly some questions and you're unsevered or you're
Boom.
reintegrated, and it's just like that. And now we have Outie Mark meeting any Mark. Ashley, what's about to happen now?
Baby, I don't know. But he was getting all the answers wrong with Reghabi. I said, is this thing on? Is it working? Is the thing on? Is the microphone on? Is the TV on? Because I didn't understand what was happening. Then we see him exactly how we meet Helly in season 1, episode 1. And I said, okay, now we're cooking. I am here for this. For part of me feels like Mark is going to mess this up because now we have the convergence of any Mark who seemingly has his head on straight, but then we have Outie Mark who is just a perpetual F up, right? Because of this grief and loss. I don't know what the convergence or merging is going to look like. This scares me. And you know, them questions are specific when they're on that table. So what if he answers wrong? Like, I don't know. I'm on the edge of my seat, but I can't wait to find out what's going to happen. I hope he pulls it off at least for a good episode or two. Give me a good episode or two of him infiltrating Lumon and really getting to the bottom of things and getting some answers. That's what my heart wants. What'll happen in reality, it'll go off the rails. Somebody gonna find out. For more specific, Milchick is going to notice something's different, but Milchick's already going to be perturbed because of his own situation. He may at that point partner with Mark and help him through this journey, but somebody going to find out about it because this merging of Marks, any Outie, it's going to be a mess. I feel it deep down.
The way is totally different. Totally different Mark. Totally different Mark. I think he's gonna get in here and lose it. I don't think he's gonna just try to suppress and like let me act accordingly. And even acting accordingly, what does that even look like? Like I think he's gonna be found out real quick. D, what's gonna happen? It was and just like that, we just reintegrated.
Yeah. First of all, and again, we didn't see PD Pablo's initial situation. We just saw what came after. So I do think it makes me question, like, was it too easy? Like, how did it go the first time? Is this actually how it went, or was it something else that may have possibly went wrong? Did she hit the machine the first time? Like, I'm just saying, like, something went wrong, and something I'm pretty sure it's not going to be all. It's not going to be smooth sailing. But yeah, that was my first thought, and then my main thing is whether let's say it goes right. I already know what it's like myself. I won't say I have like active anxiety, but someone who kind of is an overthinker and can sometimes be over analytical and just has a very hyperactive imagination. Like, it's a lot trying to deal with this brain, this mind, this emotions, all of this in one body. So then having to smush in a whole nother consciousness and personality and emotions and all of that, it's just like, it's making room for two consciousnesses or two forms of consciousness in one body. I just think that's going to be a little bit of a battle, or the very least is going to be extremely uncomfortable. So yeah, but I did like the full circle of what we saw the very first episode with Helly, like how we're back here. And I'm wondering why it is that the severance process starts here specifically.
Because I'm telling you, if because I'm looking at this comment from Vic, if do you think that the grand plan is just Mark alone, and he's not a part of Cold Harbor, but he is Cold Harbor? Like, are they just experimenting? Like, is this all like it was all for you, Damien? Is this all for Mark?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if that's the case, then Reghabi could be an op. If the reintegration and testing this out is all a part of Cold Harbor, I mean, that could be a thing. I mean, I like it. I like it as a theory. I don't know, Vic, girl. I don't know, girl.
And welcome. I saw someone here. Let me make sure I acknowledge it before we move on, because we welcome all people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so glad that you love it here and you just subbed. We appreciate it. And yes, I saw the comment before that. We do this every single time. Every single time on Saturdays, we will be here discussing the newest and latest episode of Severance. So be sure to join us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now back to us being black, y'all. Back to us being black. Before we close out this episode and give our predictions, it's Black History Month, y'all. It is Black History Month, and Ashley and myself, y'all know we have to come together and be as celebratory as possible. And this is what we agreed on, and this is what we will be bringing you in the month of February. We will be doing something different every single week, and excited about it. I'm excited about it because it always surprises me how many, I guess you would say more so Black history films will go, oh my God, I love that. And then another person's like, I've never heard of it and I've never seen it. But this is the plan, y'all. We will definitely be right back.
And I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blickety black, 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 y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, 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 y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black.
Black and I'm black because I'm black because I'm back. Shout out to CB4. If you ain't seen CB4, then what you doing? Because we black, y'all. But closing this out, Ashley, what are your predictions for the next episode?
Oh Lord. Like I said, I really, really want to see what this like convergence of the consciousness is gonna look like for Mark. I wanna see the crumble or the ascension of Mark next episode. I either want to see him rise to the occasion or fail horribly. It can't be the middle. I need one or the other. I'm really here to see what is gonna happen in terms of Harmony. What does this mean for Harmony now? She backed away. But she's not done. We know she's not done. A person like that never quits. So those are probably the two storylines that I'm most interested in. And to see what Reghabi's really going to do. Maybe we'll get a little bit more insight. Maybe with this convergence or this reintegration, we'll actually get a flashback of Mark and Gemma. I'd absolutely be here for that as well.
I'm sorry, that came when just set the sexual tension in this picture. I'm not going to.
I'm
not gonna play with y'all this chat. Dean, what are your predictions for the next episode?
Well, obviously we're going to continue to see what the reintegration process is going to look like, with very unfortunate side effects, obviously. I think we also are going to see Dylan continue to slip further and further, out of reach as far as the collective, and he's going to become so enamored with connecting with that other world, or that part of himself that he doesn't know, that he's going to continue just to kind of step away and lose sight of the vision. And it's kind of one of those things. I can't think of a specific film, but it's always like, we're, stronger together, we're powerful together. And then once you break up and there's dissension, even if there's one crack in the foundation, undermines everything. So I think there's that. And I hopefully we see, I can't imagine what Harmony is going to do now, but I already know her story is not over. But I'm assuming, and especially after what Mark said to her in the last episode, at some point, I'm hoping she and Mark have a real conversation, or we find out something about her backstory, because I really need to know, especially after she almost, got stuffed in the back of somebody's trunk.
I would have been here for that. I want to see the tempo of her voice and hear it when she gets kissed. Take your hands off me, you. I was like, oh, girl, it's gonna give you damn dirty ape. I don't know what's with that voice of hers, but that's what it always gives. But you guys, that was Severance, season 2, episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, it is Saturday, so we get into our Saturday night watch along. For anybody who is a member of the channel, either my channel or Ashley's, be sure to be over there in the Discord shortly. And, we're going to get into that. If you do want to be over there, then you need to become a member, sweetheart. But I'm going to come to you first, D. Let the people know what's going on and where they can come support you.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, everyone. This is the Movie Man, fellow cinephile, popcorn addict, and emerging film critic, coming to you with reliable recaps, reviews, and reactions. And that is my general tagline. If you're familiar with my channel or you're not, that kind of sums it up. I love talking about all things film, new, and getting more into the old this year. Just, analyzing film from a cinephile perspective, but also a personal perspective, understanding how film has shaped my life, my experiences, and how there's a personal, deeper appreciation for it that, that ties in and just makes it just a more I guess, a more distinct experience, I suppose. I also like reacting to trailers. I'm going to be doing one for the second trailer for Sinners. And I also love discussing recaps or getting into recaps of some of my favorite shows. Right now, I'm discussing The Traitors season 3, and it is a hot mess for all the right reasons, of course. So feel free to check that out. I also am delving into some Sundance content. I'm working through my list of the 10 films I'm watching for this year, which includes some really interesting Black content and Black films, Black directors. I love supporting my indie films and independent directors as well. And also, you can check my channel out if there's any past films that you didn't get to check out, like Exhibiting Forgiveness, Sing Sing, Daughters. And I'm really big on just making sure we're continuing to shift the perspective and expand the lens of what Blackness is, Black imagery, and all of that. So if you're down for that, please continue to, or please feel free to check out and support. I would absolutely love that.
D said, I'm Black, y'all. Ashley, what about you? And I see y'all in the chat. I thought about the whole mom thing between Harmony and Mark. And I was like, was that like a moment when Reghabi's asking the questions about the mom, or you're trying to throw us off the scent? Like, was she like what? But like, how would that roll over? You would think that if she was, wouldn't you be trying to save Mark? Because it seems very, I don't know. Don't get me to going, because that was my key as to why she kept trying to get back on that floor. But Harmony does not project mother anywhere. Ashley, let people know what you got going on.
Baby, just come over. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the schedule. Please just make sure you're subscribed to everybody here on the panel. Hit that notification bell. Drop a comment in the video if you enjoyed the live. Tomorrow we will be back to talk Paradise episodes 1 through 3. A show I'm really enjoying, you guys. I'm really enjoying it. Monday nights, y'all know, are for them Raggedy Mayfair witches. On Tuesday night, we will be doing a live watch along of Married at First Sight, season 18. And on Wednesday, we will be reviewing the episode. Child, it's a lot. It's something every day. So just make sure that you're subscribed and have that notification bell hit.
Absolutely. Well, anybody who is over there in the Discord and you remember, we will see you shortly. Anybody who is just strictly here to talk Severance with us, we thank you, and we will see you guys next week. Everybody have a good night, y'all. Good one. I'm Black, y'all. Black, y'all.
Nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to